remind everyone on this planet something right now. First thing, when it comes to doing what you're doing, I'm more at it than you'll ever be. A lot more at it. And I have a whole different method and approach than you're using. And I'll get the job done far more efficient. Now then, I'm going to compare you to something. And point to this nation called the United States as an example of your failure in success. In the 60s, this place was getting burnt down too. Everywhere. My little burger was going on. My dad drove through the barricades, they were burning. Drove right past the mobs in rebellion and burning down the city. They burned down their neighborhood. My dad drove into that neighborhood past burning barrels. I was just horrified in the back seat of the car. He was taking a lady home that was living in that neighborhood that he employed. I was horrified. Some people staring at my window doing this. Yes, I did. When he had a member of that neighborhood in his car, he sure did. And she liked my dad a lot. She liked me too. She was a nice lady. She had African descent. So do I. Well, that was going on in the United States, and there was a couple people around that really were marvelous human beings. John Kennedy being one, and Martin Luther King another, and there were some others. I think Malcolm X, I look back, I was too dumb to understand Malcolm X. This happened in 1963, and in the 60s, and I was just a kid. I didn't know nothing. Really, I look at that, I had the passion for right and wrong, that's about it. I didn't know anything about it. And I was failing at myself and didn't know. I was dishonest with myself and didn't even know I was. I was so full of hops, I was an altar boy and a choir boy, thinking the devil was in the closet. I've come a long way, getting accurate about things. Look, this much I know. Whatever's going on everywhere, this nation's been through. And with a very noble people from Africa. And believe you me, are mad about slavery and sure told slavery where to go, didn't they? Did they enslave crappy people or quality people? Obviously, quality people. Obviously. They booted the ass of slavery by out-serving it. Like you always do. Your master will cry his eyes out. Happened in Egypt, unfortunately. The slave population in Egypt got quite quality. Yes, they did. There was a class of living there in slavery that made everybody else look pretty crappy. Want to bet? I've been a part of that long before any of your titles. I know all about it. Want to bet? Slaves can get quite adorable. Just keep that well in mind. Depending on what you start with, I suppose, it's genetic. Well, you can breed here, just like a pedigree. Want to bet? And that's what humans are all doing right now, trying to, you're so selective about your breeding, it's nightmare, it's stupid. Doesn't mean you're all crossbred and inbred so many times, these references are asinine. And they're educating too with these terms of references is stupid. You're not educating anything. You're mocking your echo of information, that's for sure. And all your education, mockery. The United States, been through what you're through, a lot more brains than you. You ain't John Kennedy. You ought to read it. Hear his speeches, for Christ's sake, during that time. Look at the history of it. Yeah, United States! Look at the rest of you right now. Same cry. Or what? And look what you're doing with it. When some would still like to do that here. Oh, I hate George Bush. I rip him down and crucify him and pull his bones out. Shut up! Anyone to think negative, the President of the United States here, especially after John Kennedy's denial, mockery, warp. mean, so many of you had a motive to kill him, who the hell knows? Well, let's talk about why it's covered up then. When that's so obvious, why isn't it talked about today that there's a cover-up of John Kennedy's murder, and you ain't saying nothing, Planet, and you're not going to go nowhere until you do? While the rest of you keep on living like life is just fine. No, it ain't. And the President of the United States can't have a breakdown and confession without dying. You ain't got nothing. Punk. This is Walmart. This is the United States. This is Walmart. We challenge the supply. Yay, Walmart. The Cadillac of it. I demand it out of them. And you know what? The managers and assistant managers at Walmart, I tell you. You'd be surprised how people, you put them in that position, how they perform. Ooh. I like Walmart. Mom and Pop would tell me to get the hell off the property. Walmart didn't. And I've told them they're idiots so many times and embraced them, and they shine like 3-year-old kids. I like them so. Gotta upload this.